If you are looking to start building out a team in your small business or your agency, then you can use my team as an example to do so. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kyle Mao. I'm the founder and owner here at HireUA, and today I'm going to be going through my entire team, kind of talking a little bit about where everyone's from and what they do in the company. And while we're very peculiar in the way that we're a recruiting agency, we're not an email marketing agency. We're not like a lead gen agency. We're a little bit atypical in that aspect, but you'll see that our agency model is very similar to most agencies out there, which means that one, we have like client success teams that handle all the communications with the clients so that I don't have to be doing that in the day-to-day. And then we've got a fulfillment team that does the fulfillment. So that kind of model is basically, you know, here's client side, here's fulfillment side. And most agencies can kind of set themselves up this way. And in addition to that, most people should be doing more social media marketing and more things like that. Without further ado, I'm going to go through my entire team and talk a little bit about each and every one of them. And this is in order of hire. So I'm not playing any favorites. It's simply going in the order of which people were hired. So first up, we've got Katerina, or Katya, or as we often call her, just simply Kate. She is our most senior and most technical recruiter. So she does all of the most difficult placements. It's been over 2 years that she's been with me, and she started as a recruiter because the company was much smaller at the time a couple years ago. I was living in Ukraine, so she worked as like a personal assistant to me and then also did the recruiting for the company at the same time. So just sort of a hybrid role because at that time we only really needed one person. That's how she got started, but now she just handles all of the hard and difficult technical placements. So kind of looking through our Slack channel right now, she's got like a PHP developer. She just did a web technical marketer is what we called it. So someone with a marketing background who could also do a little bit of coding and a few other, more technical things. Oh, and a media buyer. Those are like the placements that she's working on right now. That's what she handles, like the more technical and senior placements. Then next up on the list is Sofia. She is our senior client success manager, and she was hired originally for that role. And basically her job is to talk to the clients, and then she also works a little bit on the fulfillment side because she actually does talk to candidates and she gets them scheduled with clients for interviews, and she handles, basically all the client communications from A to Z. So recruiters go and find the people, the CSMs basically then talk to the clients, and that way the goal is basically to not distract the people who are doing the fulfillment of the company from like all the little stuff. So just like me as the business owner, I can't be constantly talking to, all these clients all the time. It's just not feasible. I would do nothing else if all I did was client communications. So in this way too, this is so that recruiters can go to their interviews with candidates and they can screen them carefully and they can run their background checks and they can basically do all this without being distracted and worrying about what the client's potentially saying. So that's like Sophia's job is to, be a shield between the recruiters and the client. So I hired her, when was that? That was right before the war started in Ukraine. So I believe it was like January 2022. She and Kate are actually the only two members of my team who I've actually ever met in person. So when I was flying back to California after the war in Ukraine, so my wife, my dog and I, we left and then we went to California, flew out of Amsterdam, and Sofia had relocated there temporarily. So we were able to meet up with her and her sister for dinner. So those are the two people on my team I've actually met in person, but I'm very excited because by the time this video gets posted, we will have all met in person in Warsaw, Poland. So many of us, at least, not all of us, will have met at least a few more people at that point. Third up on my team is Valentina. She is the operations manager of HireUA, and honestly, I can't say enough about how quickly she was promoted and what she has taken on in her very brief time here at the company. So gosh, she was only hired about a year ago. It was August 2022, and basically hired her as like a junior admin. I just needed someone to like scrape some lead lists for me. I needed someone to go on Twitter and like look at new followers and see if they were qualified for me to potentially DM them about a hire, so basically look for business owners, and then just handled a bunch of other miscellaneous tasks for me. And then she did really well at that, and we got to the point we started getting busier and busier, and I needed someone to start doing some recruiting. So we gave her a little bit of training about how to go out and find people, and she really took to it, to the point where I realized she was so good at multitasking and jumping across. She could talk to the clients, she could talk to the candidates, she could keep track of every conversation, every email, every message, that I said, hey, the job that I'm doing of going through and approving all of these different people and running a background check on them and all this other stuff, you can do it. She was capable of doing it. So I promoted her up, and now she's in charge of the entire recruiting team, as well as, she pretty much also handles the client success manager. She does everything. She still does recruiting. She still does client comms, and she manages every single placement across the company and every single client across the company. Next up on the HireUA team is Iryna. She is our, admin. So she does a variety of tasks. She does contracts. She does scraping leads. She verifies the leads. She does any random task about Excel Excel that I need done or anything that is just very, kind of repetitive and time consuming. She's very, very good at just being able to get stuff done that saves me so much time in the long term. And then she also works on the social media side quite a bit now too. So there's so much content that I'm constantly pushing out across the various channels. And I like to be able to simply shoot the content and then be done with it. So once it's shot, I upload it and say, you take over. And then she and Maryna, who's the social media manager, I'll get to her a little bit later because she's one of the newest hires, handle everything from there. A lot of it is very time intensive. Like for example, you're not technically supposed to post to Instagram from a third party. A lot of people do, but I think, a lot of times use Instagram schedulers and it's like, you can't get the thumbnail to look right. You can't get the image to size properly. So it's a lot better if it's just posted from the device itself. So all of that can really add up to a lot of time. As a business owner, I couldn't encourage you more to get out of the scheduling part of social media. If you're the business owner and it's your face behind the company, probably got to be you sitting behind that camera, recording videos like this or, writing stuff. But all the scheduling, all the admin that goes behind it can definitely be outsourced to somebody else. And I highly encourage you to do so. All right. So we've also got Greg, who takes a lot of the sales calls here at HireUA now. So he's a closer and basically, he gets the calls booked onto his calendar and then he closes the deal. And of course he has a relationship with the clients. So once the deal is closed, he submits all the information to the operational team about the job description, the budget, the time zone, everything else that is important, and then make sure that the client gets into Slack channel or Telegram or email, whatever it's going to be, and that we have a good way of communicating with them. So that's Greg, and that's what he does here at HireUA. Next up on the team is my executive assistant, Victoria, and Victoria does a variety of things, and honestly, life would be very difficult without her. I'll just put it that way. So she runs both the business side of my life and makes sure everything stays on track there, as well as the personal stuff. Executive assistant, it's a high level position. It's a very, exclusive term, and it takes a very, strong and just good person to be in a role like this. So business side, things are smooth operationally because we have such a good team. So what she does every day is she scans all of the different placements and all the channels, all the client chats, and she talks to, the other team members and says, hey, what's the status on all of these? And then I get a nice little summary, basically, when I come online of here's everything that's going on. And then usually there's also a list like this needs your attention. Like you need to go and handle this right now, whatever it might be. She'll do all of that on the business side. She'll also talk to clients. I trust her completely to go to meetings and speak for me as needed. And overall on the business side, she just works as basically a high-level me in the business. She's like a little mini me. She does the payroll stuff and quite a few other administrative tasks on a day-to-day basis. And then on the personal life, it's just really whatever needs to be done. So when I relocated my family back to Europe in April of this year, she helped find an apartment. She helped book the flights. She helped book the rental car that we needed, handled all the travel, all the logistics. Any little random projects that come up, she'll help me organize that, map it out. Here's what needs to be done. Here are the timelines. Here's kind of what it should be. It's sometimes really nice as a business owner when you know what needs to be done, but you have someone who you can just have one meeting with one person and say, hey, that's it. Like you go talk to all the people and tell them what they need to do. And that saves you so much time versus, basically her job is to then communicate all of what I needed done to the rest of the team, which makes it a little easier versus me having to sit down and message everybody or get on calls with everybody. So that makes it quite a bit easier. And then the last thing, she's planned our entire team meeting in Warsaw for 10 people, 5 days from start to finish, and has done a great job with that. So that's an example of just one of the projects that might come up that she would handle. Next up on the team is Kristina. She is our newest recruiter. She came on the team, I think it was February 2023, so this year. She's got some good technical chops, has taken on a lot of really difficult placements and been able to close them. Very good with clients, does really good work. So again, she's on the fulfillment side of the business. So people come to us, say we need help, we need to make a hire, and basically it's passed off to the team, and she's a big part of that team. The next hire that we made was Daria, who is a client success manager who works with Sofia. So she does the same job as Sofia, obviously talks to clients, does billing, sends out the contracts, makes sure everything's good with the clients, schedules the candidates, and basically leads clients through all of the process here at HireUA from start to finish. And finally, just one thing I want to note is that she's actually started building out some automations with some of the software in the company, which is really cool to see. So some of the back end stuff like integrating the billing with the contracts with our whole CRM and project management system. It's been cool to see her kind of take that on and be able to do some cool things that I didn't even know was possible. Okay, next up, we've also got Maryna, who is our social media manager. She's only been working here a couple months now, but basically her job is to schedule, curate all of the content that's going out on different social media channels. So for example, when I'm done shooting this video, it'll be chopped up into shorts. And then from there, she'll watch the shorts, the video editor put captions on them usually, and she'll write a description, a headline, put it on the calendar and get it scheduled out to go to all the various platforms. And then I'm mostly a writer. That's kind of one of the things that I'm best at and what I like doing. So all the content that I write, whether it be to my email list or Twitter thread or a blog post, she'll, make visual graphics out of that. So LinkedIn carousels, Instagram carousels, she will bring an artistic flair to everything that I put in words because I'm not really all that artistic. So that's what Maryna does here at HireUA. Next up, we've got Taras. He's our video editor. He's the man behind all the clips that you see and the person who makes me look better than I actually am on camera. So he does a good job with his edits, and he's fast too. So I can't say enough good things about the work that he's done so far. He's only been with us a couple months as well. He's fast. He turns around these editing videos really quick, and my editor previously was nowhere near as fast, but he's turning them around really quick and always saying like, I'm ready for more. So I'm trying my best to keep up with him, but sometimes I've been struggling doing that. But that is why I've got such a great team. They're able to handle so much of this business without me so that I can usually focus on stuff like creating content for this YouTube channel. And then finally, not that I don't love them in their own right, but we have Alina, Anastasia, and Yurii, who are more like on-call people. So Alina does just the thumbnails for the channel. So when we need a new thumbnail, we tag her basically and say, hey, can you make this? Here's an image. And then Anastasia and Yurii are content writers. So they're writing blog articles for the HireUA blog and the website. And again, these are kind of on-call basis. It's not necessarily we need this many all the time. It's like, okay, we've got 10 articles I want to get done. So I assign it to them. They go out and write it. And then I have Tom, who's the final person on the team. He's actually a personal friend of mine who has just started doing long form SEO on YouTube and for the blogs itself. So he goes through, he edits them. He, makes sure they're all good. Images are all sized properly and that they're basically ready to be posted to the blog SEO wise. And you might be asking why I don't have a Ukrainian in that role. And it's simply because Tom is a good friend of mine and I wanted to give him an opportunity. So that's really it. That is the team here at HireUA. Again, we've got a whole fulfillment side, we've got a whole client side, and we've got a whole marketing and sales side. And we are constantly building out more. Obviously, the more clients we bring in, the more I can step away and the more that I can go and, work on big picture stuff in the business, like bringing on entire new outreach channels and focusing on the sales and marketing side of the business. If you are a small business owner, an agency owner, and you're looking to hire out a fantastic team like the ones I've just described, again, I can't say enough good things about all of them, then go to hire-ua.com, click the link down below, and also make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Again, I wouldn't be here recording this video without my team and everything that they do. I really, truly cannot say enough good things about them and the work that they do behind the scenes. None of this would be possible without them. And I hope that all business owners can have an experience like I've been able to have with this amazing group of people over the last couple of years. So thanks again for watching the video, and I will see you next time.